Hi all, welcome to Class 6 of Map Painting and Digital Environments. Today we're just going to jump straight into the project shot that we're going to work on for the rest of the term. As I showed you last week and in the forums, it's this kind of Victorian-esque street scene. And what we're going to do is basically model it up, and which I'll do with a combination of Modo and Maya, and we'll then do a set of kind of a realistic camera move. Originally, my idea was it's kind of on a jib arm, maybe raising up, revealing, a wider version of the city. So maybe we see, the arm raises up from down here up to there in a bit of an arc or around, as an arm does. Anyway, so we'll look at that as part of the class, and look at adding a bit of camera shake and just make the move look quite realistic. Anyway, so we'll just jump straight into it. Now I'll be utilizing Glyph's map painting toolkit. I hope that you guys have had a chance to have a play with it, or at least download the demo and get it running. I will talk about the Projection Man plugin, I guess, for Cinema 4D, because it's quite similar in some ways. I mean, it does similar. It gives you the option of patching cameras and stuff, which is kind of one of the things that the Map Painting Toolkit does. It does quite a lot of other things, like the interactive modelling, which I'll show you a bit of now. It doesn't actually go too well on my little old laptop with screen capturing as well at the same time. So it's kind of probably not. I probably won't use it. I mean, I'll show you a little bit of it, but it's just not very effective. And plus, I don't really need to use it for this. I mean, if we're doing a map painting sometimes map paintings are created from original photography. So say this might be a real photo of a street scene, and you want to do a camera move on it. I mean, I think that question came up in the lounge. That's done quite a lot these days for TV shows, etc. So that being the case, that's kind of a different type of shot. So your model needs to be very accurate, and so the interactive modeling in the map painting toolkit is very good for that. And it's much easier to set your camera and work out where your base, I guess, starting from, because when you're going into Maya and you're trying to set up a camera, I guess, which I'll try to show you here. From concept art, it's not always that simple, because the perspective might not be 100% correct, etc. In saying that, it doesn't really matter, because this is just a concept. It's we'll be modelling this with the necessary detail to then create the projection, or to create the camera move that we want, and then we'll start utilizing projections. So the workflow that I'm talking about is we create the base of this shot in Maya, and we'll set up our master camera, and we'll have this kind of master scene. But I won't be doing, I guess, any intricate modeling in Maya, because I'll be doing that in Modo, again, purely out of choice. We could be doing it all in Maya. It's not a big deal. But so we'll set up this master scene. We can set up our master camera move. Then the model can be exported to Modo, and we can model it there. We could render it there if we want. It's not a big deal, because we can share the cameras between Maya and Modo using the FBX. I probably won't do that. I'll probably just do some modeling in Modo and then throw it back to Maya, and then we'll just do it all from there. Because it seems like most of you guys are more on Maya anyway. So, okay. And so one of the other things I've done is I've basically started collecting some reference, going through my existing image library, I guess, and a few ones off the web. I found but just starting to gather reference for, I guess, the kind of texture I envision on this scene. So, I'll just flick through these and I'll pass. I'll upload to you guys what I can. I mean, more what I own, I guess, like all these ones I've shot. But yeah, I mean, these are kind of, this is what I was thinking for cobblestone. Nice cobblestone streets. And then all this stuff here is just, it's all stuff I've shot. It's just that old, really old, nice kind of, early or late 1800s and early 1900s textures. Especially, this stuff here is really old. I mean, that's, I really, really want this to not look, I guess, like modern old buildings. Like, I want it to be set in the right period. So, the streets really need to be really rickety and, I mean, maybe the walls of the terraces, like here, old sandstone blocks, that aren't that neat. But there's a good example down here. So maybe it's more like that. So it's really quite built. I mean, they did have bricks, so we'll just see what works. There's something that's really old. There's a good example of an old terrace, Victorian terrace. It's in Sydney, but it's. I guess this is where originally I was always talking about going to moto, because all this kind of nice model detail, it will really help to have it. And there's, some great little tricks. Say, like I said, using profile, kind of profile edge loops to help create this kind of detail. There's stuff we need to and stuff we don't, and I guess that's what I wanted to cover, and we'll talk about that just as we continue. So there's say all that little stuff up there, we don't need, and the stuff in here, and so it's, I mean, and that's a classic case of what time versus, I guess, need. Anything that we'd see on an angle, like these window, these architraves for the windows on the sills, and same for the top bit. But what's in there, could be done quite easily, just in matte painting. But any window sills like that go in, obviously we need to model. So same as the top bit, but I wouldn't model that. So it's really a case of modeling what we need to, but obviously being efficient, because we could, if you go and model every little detail, then you could just UV and render the whole thing with displacements and get get that kind of result. But yeah, so as I said, some nice cool doors. I love that. I might include that in the kind of the door for the pub or something. That's this is pretty cool too. This old gate here. But you can see this is quite old looking stone / brick / sandstone. All kind of built together. And there's another good example of the Victorian architecture. The columns and the all the details. Maybe like in here it looks like this is the steps to the town hall or something. So maybe that's a good example of what we can do there. But I mean, all this reference is just great because it's easy to find, and it's another cool door. So anyway, just thought I'd show you all that, and I'll keep collecting that stuff. And as I said, I'll upload all the stuff that I own. Okay, so we'll just jump into Maya and basically start creating our scene. Okay, so we've got Maya open, and first up, set up project. So it was a new project called XBHD Paint before eject. Let's keep it the default location, that's fine. Alright, so first up we need to create a camera. And